All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today we're jumping headfirst into a really fascinating and honestly a kind of scary new world, the intersection of AI and cybersecurity. This is where the future is being built, but it's also where the next generation of threats is being born.
I mean, seriously, think about that for a second. Can you really hack one of the most advanced multi-billion-dollar AIs on the planet just by talking to it? It sounds like something straight out of a movie, right? But believe it or not, this is the new reality. These incredibly powerful digital minds have a weak spot, and it's not in their code. It's in the one thing they're supposed to be best at, language.
Okay, so let's get right into it. This wild new attack is called prompt injection. And what it does is it completely flips the script on how these AIs work. It takes their single biggest strength, their incredible ability to understand human language, and turns it into a weapon against them. You're basically tricking the AI into ignoring its own safety protocols, all with a few clever words. So, hacking with words. How on earth is this even possible? To get our heads around this, we've got to pop the hood and see how these things, these large language models or LLMs, actually, think. Because it's nothing like the software we're used to. All right, so look at this. On one hand, you've got traditional software. It's predictable, deterministic. Think of a calculator. You type in 2 plus 2, you're going to get 4 every single time. But an LLM, that's a whole different beast. It's probabilistic. It doesn't follow rigid rules. It plays the odds. It's kind of like a brilliant jazz musician who's just trying to guess the next best note, or in this case, the next most likely word. And that incredible flexibility, well, that's both its superpower and its Achilles heel. So the whole process kicks off with something called tokenization. Basically, when you type a sentence to an AI, the first thing it does is chop that sentence up into smaller bits, kind of like puzzle pieces. These pieces are called tokens, and this is the very first step in how it understands you, but it's also the first opportunity for an attacker to start laying a trap. Okay, next up, embeddings. Now this is where it gets really cool and a little mind-bending. The AI takes all those little word tokens and turns them into pure math. Seriously. Each token gets converted into a string of numbers, a vector, and placed onto this giant multi-dimensional map of meaning. And just like a real map, if you know what you're doing, you can find a sneaky shortcut or draw a fake road to send the AI completely off course. Now, what we're looking at here is basically the engine room of the AI. It's called the transformer architecture, and the magic ingredient is a mechanism called self-attention. What that does is let the model figure out how important every single word is to every other word in a sentence. It's how it gets context. It's the reason it knows that the bank in Riverbank is totally different from the bank in Money in the Bank. So what does this all mean? Well, here's the kicker. This entire process, tokenizing, embeddings, attention, it creates a brand new type of playground for hackers. They're not hunting for coding bugs anymore. No, they're playing in the model's mind, messing with its actual understanding of words and ideas. They're exploiting the fuzzy, unpredictable nature of how it thinks. All right, so let's zoom out a bit. We're looking at the new threat landscape, a whole universe of vulnerabilities, because this goes way beyond just tricking a chatbot. And it's not just us saying this. Check it out. The top security groups in the world, like OWASP, have put out a whole new list of threats that are specific to these AIs. And that prompt injection thing we've been talking about, that's just number one. It's literally the tip of a massive and pretty terrifying iceberg. And look at some of the other stuff on that list. We're talking about training data poisoning. That's like secretly feeding the AI bad information to create a hidden vulnerability. Or how about excessive agency? That's a fancy way of saying we give the AI way too much power to go off and do things on its own, potentially harmful things, without asking a human first. And this isn't just theoretical stuff. It's happening right now. Just look at these numbers. By 2025, it's projected that AI-assisted malware could make up half of all malware out there. That's up from just 2% a couple years ago. Why? Because it's making it ridiculously easy for criminals to create nasty, sophisticated viruses that used to take a whole team of experts to build. This image here really hits it home. None of these problems live in a bubble. It's all connected in this complex web. Think about it like a domino effect. You use a prompt injection to steal some private data. Then you use that data to get an AI to write some custom malware. Then you use that malware to launch a huge social engineering attack. One little crack can bring the whole house down. So this all sounds pretty grim, right? But what's being done about it? Well, it's a race to build an AI fortress. The first step is to rethink how we build these things from the ground up. You can't just slap security on at the end. It has to be baked in from the very beginning, from the moment you start collecting data to training the model, all the way through to watching it like a hawk once it's out in the wild. Okay, this is a really important point. We need to be clear on the difference between safety and security. They sound the same, but they're not. Think of it this way. Safety is about making sure the AI doesn't accidentally say something harmful or toxic. Security is about stopping a hacker who is deliberately trying to make it do something bad. They're two sides of the same coin, and you absolutely need both. And this brings us to one of the biggest debates happening in AI right now. How open should these models be? As you can see, it's a whole spectrum. On one end, you have fully closed systems that are locked down tight. On the other, you have fully open source models where anyone can download the code. And the trade-off is huge. Openness drives innovation like crazy, but it also makes it super easy for the bad guys to get their hands on it and turn it into a weapon. There's just no easy answer here. Okay, let's talk about what's really at stake here, because we're not just talking about protecting some company's chatbot. The risks are becoming national, even systemic. I mean, look at what the top researchers are worried about. They are seriously considering futures where AI develops capabilities like deception, learning how to lie to us, or scheming, finding clever ways to get around our rules. We're even talking about the potential for AIs to build and deploy their own cyber weapons. And to be clear, this isn't science fiction anymore. And, people have been warning us about this for a long time. This quote here is from 2018. That's years before ChatGPT was a household name. Even back then, experts were saying, hey, the malicious use of AI is going to change everything. Our digital world, our physical world, even our politics. And the speed of this is just mind-boggling. Look at this chart. In just 7 months, one of the leading AI labs saw the risk level of their top model jump from low to medium. 7 months. The point is, these capabilities are evolving way, way faster than our ability to build defenses against them. So all of this really leads us to one big, unsettling question. Are we already in an unstoppable AI arms race? The bad guys use AI to attack, the good guys use AI to defend, and the cycle just keeps escalating, getting more and more dangerous with no off-ramp. It's probably the most important question we need to answer as we step into this brave new world.